Hey Gecko Nice Spot fans, this is Wally with Supreme Gecko. I think we're missing out. I think that we're not keeping some geckos that should be kept in the hobby. Today we're going to look at a gecko that I just got in, and I am so happy that I selected this gecko to bring into the Supreme Gecko facility. We're going to meet this gecko, and I hope I change your mind on keeping this animal. You know, there's some geckos that are rare in the hobby, and that's for some very specific reasons. Number one, people aren't breeding them, or they're hard to breed. Number two, they're hard to find. They're not coming into the country. Number three, people aren't keeping them because they're not popular. They're not the gecko. We're going to be talking about a gecko that's in that third category. It's not being kept because it's not cool, it's not attractive, it's not in. A few days ago, I made a purchase for two different geckos. Actually, I was looking for one gecko. I wanted to get them because I haven't worked with those geckos in years and years. I'll talk to you about that gecko in another video coming later. But when I was looking at that list online, I saw another gecko that caught my eye. I've never kept it. I thought, why have I not kept this gecko? It's the white line gecko. It's Gekko vittatus. Some people call it the barking gecko, which means that it's very audible, and it's the smaller version of a Tokay gecko. Now, these geckos come from Indonesia, where it's hot and humid. I'm providing them with heat and a light on top, and to keep their humidity up, I'm misting once a day. I also keep these animals in a bioactive enclosure, so that helps keep the humidity up as well. The white line gecko comes from rainforests, so I like to keep them in a bioactive enclosure with lots of plants and branches. These geckos love to climb. Now you're going to see behind me setups that are 12 by 12 by 18, and I don't suggest keeping them in that small of an enclosure. These animals are in quarantine, so they'll stay here for about a month or so that I can monitor their health, make sure they're eating, and oh my gosh, are they eating. In these enclosures, they're being kept in a 1-1 or a 1-2 situation. One male to one female, or one male to two females. And again, that's not suggested for this small of an enclosure, but that's what we're doing while we're keeping them in quarantine. The preferred setup is actually 18 by 18 by 24 for a pair of these animals. They'll get to be about 5.5 to 6 inches in size, so they need that larger enclosure. For feeding, we'll introduce crickets, or mealworms, or dubia roaches. They really don't seem to be picky whatsoever. Now, I mentioned that we're going through a quarantine situation right now, and the only issue that I've really seen with these animals is a little bit of a shedding issue, and we'll see that in just a second. Again, we're going to keep these in quarantine for about a month or so. Every time we go into these enclosures, when I finish, I go into the washroom and I wash my hands thoroughly. I always work on these animals last out of all of my animals. Let's go ahead and take a look at these animals, and let's see if we can feed and get a feeding response from them. Okay, we're looking at our second setup here, and I'm kind of worried a little bit that this one's going to get out. We're going to throw a bunch of mealworms in. Oh, there it goes. Get back. Get back in there. Okay. I want to show you something here in this enclosure. Here comes the second one as well. A little bit of a shed issue. I put this bark and this piece of wood in to hopefully help them with the shed issues. Again, we mist about once a day, and it seems like the humidity is being kept up. But the one on the back, you can see just a little bit of shed issues. And you can also see that they are not picky eaters whatsoever. Oh my gosh, dive bombing. While those two eat their mealworms, I'm going to show you the third enclosure because it looks like those animals are getting antsy seeing all the activity over in these other two enclosures. Now this enclosure might be a little bit more difficult to see the animals in. I have a very large plant. It's going nuts on me. It hides the animals, but let's see if we can get them to come out and eat a little bit of mealworms here. In these mealworm cups, I have a mixture of supplements, D3, calcium with D3, and vitamins. Normally when I put the mealworms in, I give them a good shake in the cup. I'm just putting them in today just for the video, so we can see them come out. And hopefully the animals in this enclosure come out. One animal is actually trying to get out through the side. He or she doesn't see the mealworms yet, so I'm hoping that we can get a better view of this one. I don't know if you can hear, but there's all kinds of activity going on to my left with the other two enclosures. These are being a little bit more finicky. I don't think they really see the mealworms yet, and I think that they just want to get out instead. If I put my fingers up there, I'll guarantee they're not looking at me as an enemy. They're looking at me as food. I'm going to close this up to hopefully keep this one in and focus on the mealworms first. Okay, I think that this gecko has finally realized there's food down below. Finally! I can see a lot of movement from another gecko up on top. It looks like he's coming down. We'll see how this goes. Take a look at that tail. That one's taking off. We're going to go ahead and let them finish eating here. What I would love to see you do is, if you see these geckos, Gekko vittatus, somewhere in a pet store, online, on Morph Market, at a reptile show, give them a try. They are a super, super cool animal and certainly deserve us keeping them in the hobby. Hey, if you want to see some more amazing animals, check out this link right here. We keep a wide range of animals, from knobtails to crested geckos, gargoyles, to micro geckos, a full gamut of animals. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.